In the vast tapestry of human experience, few threads are as pervasive and damaging as the impulse to compare ourselves to others. From the earliest stages of our development, we are bombarded with messages that shape our sense of self-worth, constantly measuring our achievements, our appearances, and our very existence against an ever-shifting standard of societal ideals. Whether it's the subtle pangs of envy we feel when scrolling through our social media feeds, or the nagging voice of self-doubt that whispers in our ears when we encounter someone who seems to have it all together, the act of comparison is woven into the fabric of our modern lives, quietly eroding our self-esteem and robbing us of the ability to fully embrace our unique and extraordinary selves. Yet, in the depths of ancient Buddhist wisdom, we find a powerful antidote to this insidious tendency, a path towards true self-acceptance and inner peace that transcends the fleeting illusions of external validation. By exploring the teachings of the Buddha and the insights of modern psychology, we can embark on a journey of self-discovery that liberates us from the shackles of comparison, empowering us to cultivate a profound sense of self-worth that is rooted in the present moment and the boundless potential of our own authentic selves. The seeds of comparison, understanding the roots of self-doubt. To truly understand the act of comparison and its corrosive effects on our self-esteem, we must first examine the fertile soil from which it sprouts. The conditioned narratives and societal constructs that shape our perceptions of self-worth from the earliest stages of our lives. From the moment we enter this world, we are bombarded with a barrage of external messages that define what it means to be successful, beautiful, accomplished, and worthy of love and acceptance. These messages come from a myriad of sources: our families, our peers, the media, and the broader cultural narratives that permeate our collective consciousness. As we navigate the treacherous waters of childhood and adolescence, we internalize these messages, unconsciously adopting them as benchmarks against which we measure our own value and self-worth. We learn to compare our physical appearances to the airbrushed ideals of beauty plastered across magazine covers and television screens. We measure our academic achievements against the lofty standards set by our peers and the expectations of our parents and teachers. We scrutinize our social status, our material possessions, and our perceived accomplishments, constantly seeking validation and affirmation from the world around us. In this way, the seeds of comparison are sown deep within our psyches, taking root and flourishing in the fertile soil of our insecurities and self-doubts. We become conditioned to seek our sense of worth through the lens of external validation, forever chasing the elusive mirage of societal approval and acceptance. The Buddhist perspective, embracing the illusion of the separate self. At the heart of the Buddhist teachings lies a profound insight that directly challenges the very foundations upon which the act of comparison is built, the concept of the separate self. According to the Buddha's teachings, our perceived sense of individuality and separateness is an illusion, a construct of the mind that veils the true nature of our interconnectedness with all that is. Through the lens of Buddhist philosophy, we come to understand that the self we so fiercely cling to and seek to validate through comparison is a fleeting and ever-changing amalgamation of physical and mental phenomena, constantly in flux and devoid of any inherent, permanent essence. The very notion of a separate, enduring self is revealed to be a mirage, a product of our conditioned minds and the stories we tell ourselves about who we are. This realization, when deeply contemplated and integrated, has the power to radically transform our relationship with the act of comparison. For if we are not truly separate entities, constantly in competition for validation and success, then the very foundation upon which we base our self-worth crumbles, revealing a vast expanse of interconnectedness and interdependence. Through the practice of mindfulness and present moment awareness, we begin to glimpse the true nature of our existence, a vast, interdependent web of causes and conditions where our sense of self is not a fixed, independent entity, but rather a constantly shifting dance of physical, mental, and environmental factors. In this space of profound insight, the impulse to compare ourselves to others loses its grip, for we come to recognize that we are all expressions of the same vast, interconnected tapestry of life. The distorted mirror, how comparison shapes our self-perception. Despite the profound wisdom offered by the Buddhist teachings, the act of comparison remains deeply entrenched in our modern societies, fueled by the relentless barrage of external messaging and the pervasive influence of social media. In this climate of constant comparison, our self-perception becomes a distorted reflection, warped by the ever-shifting standards of societal ideals and the perpetual cycle of measuring ourselves against others. Like a funhouse mirror that twists and contorts our physical appearance, the act of comparison distorts our sense of self-worth, amplifying our perceived flaws and diminishing our inherent worth and beauty. We become trapped in a vicious cycle of self-judgment and self-criticism, constantly striving to measure up to an unattainable standard of perfection that exists only in the realm of our own minds. This distorted self-perception manifests in a myriad of ways, from the nagging voice of self-doubt that whispers in our ears when we encounter someone who seems to have it all together, to the pangs of envy and inadequacy that arise when scrolling through the carefully curated highlights of our friends' and influencers' lives on social media. In this distorted state of self-perception, we lose sight of our inherent worth and the unique gifts and talents that make us who we are. We become consumed by the relentless pursuit of external validation, seeking approval and acceptance from the very constructs that perpetuate our feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. Yet, within the teachings of the Buddha and the insights of modern psychology, we find powerful tools to shatter the distorted mirror of comparison and reclaim our innate sense of self-worth and self-acceptance. The path to true self-esteem. Insights from Buddhist psychology. At the heart of Buddhist psychology lies a profound understanding of the human mind and its tendency towards suffering and dissatisfaction. By exploring these teachings and integrating them with the principles of modern psychology, we can embark on a transformative journey towards true self-esteem and a deep, abiding sense of self-acceptance. One of the key insights offered by Buddhist psychology is the concept of impermanence, the recognition that all phenomena, including our sense of self, are constantly in flux and ever-changing. This understanding challenges the very notion of a fixed, enduring self that we so often cling to and seek to validate through comparison. By embracing the reality of impermanence, we begin to recognize that the self we seek to compare and measure against others is a fleeting construction, a constantly shifting assemblage of physical, mental, and environmental factors. In this way, the act of comparison loses its grip, for we come to see that the objects of our envy and self-doubt are as transient and impermanent as our own sense of self. Furthermore, Buddhist psychology offers powerful practices and techniques for cultivating present-moment awareness and mindfulness tools that can help us break free from the cycle of self-judgment and self-criticism that fuels the act of comparison. Through the practice of mindfulness meditation, we learn to observe our thoughts and emotions with a sense of detached awareness, recognizing them as fleeting phenomena that arise and dissipate within the vast expanse of our consciousness. By cultivating this mindful presence, we begin to untangle ourselves from the web of self-limiting beliefs and narratives that fuel our feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. As we deepen our practice of mindfulness, we also cultivate the qualities of self-compassion and loving-kindness, essential ingredients in the journey towards true self-esteem. By extending an attitude of unconditional acceptance and compassion towards ourselves, we create a safe space within which we can embrace our flaws and imperfections without judgment or self-criticism. This radical self-acceptance is not a passive resignation or a complacent settling for mediocrity. Rather, it is a profound acknowledgement of our inherent worth and value as human beings, independent of our perceived achievements or failures. From this space of self-compassion, we can begin to let go of the need for external validation and embrace the unique beauty and potential that resides within each of us. The ripple effect: how self-acceptance transforms our relationships. As we progress along the path of self-acceptance and true self-esteem, we begin to notice a profound shift in the way we relate to others and the world around us. The act of comparison, once a pervasive force in our lives, as we cultivate a deep sense of self-worth and self-acceptance, our relationships with others undergo a profound transformation. The need to measure our value against others dissipates, replaced by a genuine appreciation for the unique gifts and experiences that each individual brings to the vast tapestry of life. With self-acceptance as our foundation, we find ourselves able to truly see and embrace others for who they are, without the distorted lens of comparison and judgment that once clouded our perceptions. We can celebrate the accomplishments and successes of those around us without feeling diminished or threatened, for our sense of worth is no longer contingent upon external validation or measured against arbitrary societal standards. This shift in perspective has a ripple effect that radiates outward, influencing not only our personal relationships, but also our interactions with the broader world around us. We begin to approach life with a sense of curiosity and openness, embracing the rich diversity of human experience and recognizing the inherent value and worth that exists within each and every being. In our professional lives, we may find ourselves able to collaborate more effectively with colleagues and peers, free from the constraints of ego-driven competition and the need to constantly prove our worth. Instead, we can approach our work with a spirit of cooperation and mutual respect, recognizing that true success often lies in the synergistic efforts of many individuals, each contributing their unique talents and perspectives. In our communities, we may discover a newfound sense of connection and belonging as we let go of the need to conform to societal ideals and instead embrace our authentic selves. We can engage with others from a place of genuine interest and compassion, seeking to understand and celebrate the rich tapestry of cultures, experiences, and perspectives that make up the fabric of our shared human existence. Furthermore, as we embody the principles of self-acceptance and self-worth, we become beacons of inspiration for those around us. Our radiant presence and unwavering self-confidence can inspire others to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery and self-love, creating a ripple effect that has the potential to transform entire communities and generations. In this way, the act of self-acceptance transcends the boundaries of our individual lives, becoming a powerful force for positive change and collective healing. By embracing our inherent worth and letting go of the need for external validation, we not only liberate ourselves from the shackles of comparison, but we also pave the way for a more compassionate, accepting, and interconnected society. The ecological self, finding our place in the web of life. As we delve deeper into the teachings of Buddhism and the principles of self-acceptance, we are invited to expand our perspective even further, embracing a profound understanding of our interconnectedness with the natural world and the vast web of life that sustains us. In the Buddhist tradition, there is a recognition that our sense of self extends far beyond the confines of our individual existence, encompassing the intricate web of relationships and interdependencies that connect us to all sentient beings and the very ecosystems that sustain life on our planet. This concept, often referred to as the ecological self, challenges us to transcend the narrow confines of our ego-driven perceptions and embrace a more expansive understanding of our place within the vast tapestry of existence. It invites us to recognize that our well-being and our sense of self-worth are inextricably linked to the health and vitality of the natural world around us. As we cultivate this ecological awareness, we begin to see ourselves not as separate entities in competition with others, or in a constant struggle for validation, but rather as integral threads woven into the fabric of life itself. Our actions and choices, no matter how seemingly insignificant, ripple outward, impacting the delicate balance of our ecosystems and the well-being of countless other beings. Through the lens of the ecological self, the act of comparison loses its grip, for we come to understand that our true worth and value are not measured by arbitrary societal standards or the fleeting illusions of material success, but rather by the depth of our reverence for life and our commitment to preserving and nurturing the vast web of interconnectedness that sustains us all. This profound realization has the power to radically shift our perspectives and priorities, inspiring us to live in harmony with the rhythms and cycles of the natural world, and to make choices that honor and protect the delicate balance of our planet's ecosystems. We may find ourselves drawn to sustainable living practices, conscious consumerism, and environmental activism, recognizing that our individual actions have far-reaching consequences for the well-being of all life. Moreover, by embracing the concept of the ecological self, we open ourselves to a vast reservoir of wisdom and insight that can further deepen our sense of self-acceptance and self-worth. As we attune ourselves to the intricate patterns and cycles of nature, we are reminded of the inherent beauty and perfection that exists within the natural order of things, free from the distortions of societal ideals and the need for external validation. In the gentle unfurling of a flower bud, the majestic sweep of a soaring eagle, or the intricate dance of a school of fish, we can find profound lessons in self-acceptance and self-expression. We are invited to embrace our own unique strengths and qualities, just as each species and ecosystem plays a vital role in the grand symphony of life. By anchoring our sense of self-worth in this profound understanding of our interconnectedness with the natural world, we can transcend the limitations of the ego-driven mind and tap into a wellspring of wisdom and inner peace that has the power to transform not only our individual lives, but also our collective relationship with the planet we call home. The Bodhisattva ideal, self-acceptance as a path to collective awakening. As we journey along the path of self-acceptance and true self-esteem, we may find ourselves drawn to the profound and powerful ideal of the Bodhisattva, a central figure in Buddhist teachings who embodies the ultimate expression of compassion, wisdom, and selfless service. The Bodhisattva is a being who has attained a profound level of spiritual awakening and self-realization, but chooses to remain in the cycle of existence, motivated by a deep and unwavering commitment to alleviating the suffering of all sentient beings. Rather than seeking personal liberation and transcendence, the Bodhisattva dedicates themselves to the welfare and enlightenment of others, embodying the qualities of boundless compassion, wisdom, and skillful means. At the heart of the Bodhisattva ideal lies a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all life and the recognition that true self-acceptance and self-worth are inextricably linked to the well-being and liberation of others. It is a path that transcends the narrow confines of the ego-driven mind and invites us to embrace a more expansive and inclusive understanding of our place within the vast tapestry of existence. By embodying the qualities of the Bodhisattva, we are invited to let go of the need for external validation and comparison, and instead cultivate a deep sense of self-acceptance and self-worth that is rooted in our commitment to service, compassion, and the alleviation of suffering for all beings. This path is not one of self-denial or self-abnegation. Rather, it is a journey of profound self-discovery and self-realization, where we come to recognize the inherent worth and value that resides within each of us, and the unique gifts and talents we can offer in service to the greater good. As we walk the path of the Bodhisattva, we may find ourselves drawn to acts of service and compassion, whether through volunteering, activism, or simply cultivating a heightened sense of awareness and presence in our daily interactions with others. We may discover a newfound sense of purpose and meaning as we channel our energies towards creating positive change and contributing to the collective well-being of all life. Moreover, By embodying the Bodhisattva ideal, we become beacons of inspiration and hope for those around us, offering a powerful counterpoint to the pervasive culture of comparison and external validation that so often fuels feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. Our radiant presence and unwavering commitment to service and compassion can inspire others to embark on their own journeys of self-acceptance and self-realization, creating a ripple effect that has the potential to transform entire communities and generations. In this way, the path of the Bodhisattva becomes not only a personal journey of self-discovery, but also a collective awakening, a shared commitment to cultivating a more compassionate, interconnected, and enlightened world. By letting go of the need for comparison and external validation, we open ourselves to the boundless potential of our true selves, and in doing so, we contribute to the collective evolution of human consciousness towards a state of greater wisdom, compassion, and reverence for the sacred web of life that sustains us all.